Well, hello, stamping friends. This is Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping, and it's time for our weekly card making lesson. It is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. I'm so excited to have you here today. And as you come aboard, please put your name in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. And if you're on YouTube, please make sure you're signed into your Google account or your YouTube account. And please, you can use the comments as well to let me know who you are and if you have any questions or any feedback on the project today. So let's go ahead and just get started right out of the gate here. I'm going to just change my view so you can see my desktop here. And I'm going to show you a fun fold that you could use for occasion. So if you're still doing your Christmas cards, you could use this card design. But if you're all done with your Christmas cards, you've got them in the mail, you could use this for any other purpose. I've decided to make a couple of thank you notes and use a couple different stamp sets to show you some different choices. And I'm going to just kind of pull these pieces apart because I'm going to show you two ways you can do this and make this a little interchangeable for you. So the base of the card is just our half a piece of 8.5 by 11. So it's actually 5.5 by 8.5. And then I've scored it here in the middle at 4.25. I'm just going to go ahead and use the bone folder here on my Pretty Peacock cardstock. And then I'm going to take another piece of Pretty Peacock. And this piece is 3.25 inches by 5.5 inches. And I have a score mark up here at just 1/2 inch. So I am going to go ahead and make that crease. All right. And then I'm going to show you what I have as far as other pieces of cardstock here. So I have for a card front panel here, some designer series paper, and I'm using the Thoughtful Journey paper, which is two-sided. So I've kind of got some different colors here that'll go with my Pretty Peacock. And this piece is just going to get glued to the front of my card base. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with my handy dandy all-purpose Tombow adhesive glue. And I'm just going to center this on the front of the card base. All right. And then I have what will be my card front here, and that is basic white. And this one is cut 2.75 by 4.5 inches. And then on the inside of the card, I'm going to just leave this not glued on because I'm going to be stamping on it. I'm going to have a card insert, and this is also the basic white, and this is 4 inches by 5.25. And then I'm going to be putting this flap before I glue in the card insert. But once again, I'm going to do some stamping on there, so leave it out. But I'm going to actually attach this right in the center and line it up with the top of the card. And then I have a piece of 3 inch by 4.75 of designer series paper, which is going to be a panel on the inside of the card. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to just set that aside because I'm actually going to stamp on that too. But let me finish the structure of my fun fold by actually gluing this inside the card. And I'll just remind you to sign in and let me know who's here. Okay, and then I'll fold this down to just kind of check my placement of this, and I'm going to center this here. Just hold that in place and then a little glue on the side there. So I want this to get tacky enough before I start flipping the flap on the card. All right, so while that finishes its drying, let me go ahead and let's do some stamping. So I'm going to use, this is actually a bundle called Frosted Forest, and there are a number of die cuts as well as evergreen, deciduous trees, and really, really nice sentiments that I'm going to use. So this is not just a Christmas set. This is obviously one I think would be beautiful to use, you know, in January or in the fall of the year as well. So let's go ahead, and I have those stamps already mounted. Now these are photopolymer stamps I'll be using, so I want to get out my Pierce mat as I'm doing my stamping. And I'll just put some scrap paper on here so that we have, I don't get any stamping on the Pierce mat itself. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to start first with this card front, and I'm going to use my Pretty Peacock ink. And let's see, I want to make sure that I have room for my greeting on the top, so I'm actually going to stamp that first, and then I'm going to stamp some evergreen trees on here. So I'm going to just put this up in the corner. I told you I'm making a thank you card, so I've got that up there. Now I'm going to take this larger of my two trees that I'm stamping. I like to bring the ink to the stamp when it's such a large stamp, and it's easier for me then to also check what I'm doing on this stamp. Okay, so let's go ahead and going to stamp this the whole way one time. And then I'm going to stamp off, and I'm going to hit this a second time. So it just looks kind of like a shadow there. And then I'm going to take some scrap cardstock here, and I'm going to actually do another tree. Full strength. And that's the one that I want to cut out. So I'll just leave this to the side, and we're going to do a little die cutting. And now on the other pieces, let's see, on the inside of this, actually, I want to do another little tree. So let me just ink this up one more time. And let's see, I'm just going to put it on the bottom here. And then do a little stamping off again. All right, so that's the inside card insert. And then I am going to do the sentiment for the inside. And this says, thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. I'm just going to kind of center this up towards the top because I want room to write. Okay. And then I have this panel that I prepared that is going inside of the card, and I want to actually stamp on that as well. I'm going to continue to use my Pretty Peacock here. Just want to make sure I'm not going to get some extra ink that I'm not wanting. There we go. Right. This time I'm going to stamp right on the designer series paper, and I made sure I was using a darker ink so that it will show up. And this says, "No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart." Okay, so now I am ready to die cut here. Before we're going to assemble our card, I'll just set these things out of our way. Oops, I want to do a bird flying here too. Maybe a few of them. Okay, there we go. I just love the detail that you can get in a stamp set when you buy it through Stampin' Up. All right, I'm going to just make this a little bit smaller since this is just a scrap that I'm going to be die cutting. Just set that up there. I can close my ink pad for a minute and bring in my mini die cutting machine, and let me get the plates in here. Okay, I've got my base plate, then my first cutting plate, which is the one that I'm always putting the die towards to use as my cutting surface. Then I will set my stamped image on here, and now I'm going to bring my die in from that bundle, the Frosted Forest, and I'm going to take a little washi tape. Well, guess I do have a little piece here. Let me grab one other one, just so I can hold this in place. I'm just sticking this to my shirt to get it not quite as sticky. I want it to hold the die in place, but I don't want it to rip the paper when I take it off. So let's just do this. Hi, Kathy. So nice to see you on here. And we'll connect it right there. All right, now I'm going to put the second cutting plate on top of my sandwich here. About lunchtime, you know. Although I think I'm going to roast myself some cauliflower for lunch. It's my new favorite thing. Just a little avocado oil and salt and pepper, and 400 degrees for 40 minutes. I love it. I'm going to try something a little different. I'm adding garlic powder and paprika today. So I'll have to let you know how that goes. I don't know if any of you love to roast vegetables. I'll tell you, it gives a whole different taste. I'd kind of not been in love with cauliflower before, and now I have a whole new vice, right? So I'm loving it. All right, I'm just peeling my die off. I save my little pieces of washi tape until they're not sticky anymore, so I just kind of keep them on the handle here so I can reuse them. Oops, that one I just rolled up in a ball. I guess I'll be throwing that one away. Okay, let me get this out of the way. All right, so now we've got all the parts and pieces for this version of our card. Let me go ahead and first I'm going to put the thank you part on the front, and I'm going to glue this down flat. And I'm just going to center this. Then I'm going to take this smaller tree and I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. to make that front. All right, now I'm going to open up inside, and I'm going to put the designer series paper. Okay. And then our card insert is going to go inside. And putting your card insert in here will actually cover up the kind of the fact that there's a crease in here. Okay, so you've got this. So you can have this card like this. And actually, we'll see, did I get lucky? No, you can do it like this. I should have measured. So you can have your card like this and then open it up like this. Or you can have it like this, open it like this, and open it again. So it's really either way you're able to send this and how you want to put together the different pieces and parts of your card. As I said, this white piece of paper is a little bit smaller than this one, so that I guess the design probably is likely to have this come over the front. Little more decorative that way, okay? But this way is possibility too. And then what I would do is let's add a little bling here. These rhinestones look great on everything. Let me take my take your pick tool, and then I'm going to show you another look at using this same design here. So tell you what, I'm actually going to put one of these right on the top of this tree just because. And then we'll put one kind of down here to the bottom. I think another one on the top of that one. Okay, so we've got a little bling on there too. All right, so there is one of those designs. So let me do this again now with just doing it a little bit differently. So I'm going to have similar parts and pieces, but I did them just a little bit different with two other stamp sets. So this is Spotlight on Nature and Something Fancy, which is a whole lot of sentiments. And you know, the one thing I like about this fun fold card design is how many sentiments you can put on it, which is kind of, you know, nice. And you can actually have a little bit more to say. All right, so let me take this one apart. And actually, this one is probably a better example of, I'm going to put this one together so that it sits this way. All right. Then you'll see the two different opportunities here. This one, I've kind of put the structure of the card together, and we're going to do some stamping. So let me go ahead and get my Pierce mat in here again. Oh, wait, I don't need it because this one is actually cling mount stamps. So I won't need the Pierce mat here. All right. So this one, let's see here. I'm going to do some lighter background stamping first for the, let's see, I'm going to do this one here. And I just want to make sure I'm doing this the right way now that I kind of changed my mind to show you this differently. Okay, so these are going to go on the inside of this one. Let's do this with Smoky Slate. And I'm going to use this leaf from the Spotlight on Nature. I'm actually going to turn this upside down, so I'm sure I'm inking this up. And let's see, I haven't used this ink in a while. I want to make sure that I've got good coverage. Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay, so let's first go this way. And then I want to actually, I'm going to clean this stamp because I'm only going to do a portion of the stem on the other side. Okay. Let's see, I just want to do this upper part. I'm going to have to do the whole thing, and it'll just come down on my designer series paper a little bit because I want to give enough room for that butterfly. Okay. So let's do this. Well, that worked well. You can't really even see it in the designer series paper there, so that worked out. Now let's go ahead and put the butterfly on here. Okay, so now we've got that, and I'm going to close this, and now I need my pretty peacock again. And I'm going to make this the thank you. Now let me just double check I have something for the inside. This is going on that part. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to put my thank you back in Pretty Peacock so that it will show over the gray. So we've got our thank you. And now I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock again on this panel so I can just stamp on the designer series paper itself. I feel like I'm kind of putting a puzzle together when I do this. And interchangeably, the different sizes of cardstock, very forgiving. You can kind of do whatever you want and how you want to use this flap in this card. But my goodness, there's so many different things that you can do with it. All right. And then lastly, let me go ahead and do the card insert here with the last sentiment, which is grateful for the everyday magic of you. And the center one said, may the good you do come back to you. I just think these are very happy cards to send to someone. So I'm going to just put this up to the top in the middle where it'll be covered by that flap. Okay, there we go. Now, so if let's first do what I know is going to go right here on the inside, little glue. Okay, so we have this flap. Now we have a choice. So this flap can have this on it. And it can be on the outside like this. Or I can have this be on the outside. And then, you know, or I can have this underneath. I think this time I'm going to put the DSP on the outside. And you wouldn't have to put a sentiment on here if you don't want to, or you could put a focal image, you know, or some, you know, die cut focal image on here. You could also use ribbons if you wanted to. All right, and then this time I'm going to be mindful of where I glue this down. Because this is smaller by 1/4 of an inch each way. So let me just check myself as I do this. I'm not going to push hard yet. I'm going to, yep, there. Know that I have that in the right place. All right, so 2 different ways to use this same card design. So this is one where then there's that extra flap inside. And then this one is taking the extra flap here and opening it this way. So, you know, I'm sure there's even more ways that you could add to another flap, another fold, you know, as you're doing this, adding more designer series paper and then putting a special something or a picture inside here. See, this one looks pretty like this too, or like this. And or like that. So with that being said, I hope that this just gives you another tool in your packet. Hi, Betty, and happy and Merry Christmas to you too. Very nice. Just as we're closing out the year, if there's something on your list, couple of things. One is remember that you can give a gift certificate from Plum Crazy Stamping or get one from Plum Crazy Stamping. Just have your husband or family member or a friend that's asking you what you would like. Have them email me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com, and I'd be able to help them and get that to you yet today if they're trying to get their Christmas shopping finished. And if you actually want to buy something yet before the end of the year, then I have this 4-card free tutorial for anybody that has at least a $50 purchase. And let's see, also gift certificates. You could get them, and remember, it'll be Celebration in a few weeks where you earn free products if you buy Stamping Up products. Let me go ahead and put this on here. The other thing I just want to let you know is as we're going now to the end of the year, I will not be on the next 2 Wednesdays because it will be Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So I'm going to be planning behind the scenes for next year. So I won't be seeing you live until the following week. which I believe is going to be like the 8th, I think. And we're going to have a new catalog, and we're going to have new online exclusives, and we're going to have celebration where you can earn free products, which is a really exciting time of year. So I'm going to be doing behind the scenes work, getting ready to bring new things to you next year. And but I will be working and available if there's anything that I can do between now and then. So once again, you can reach me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. And I want to wish a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and your family. And I'll look forward to seeing you next year where we can enjoy some more paper crafting fun. So thank you for joining me today. Take care, friends. Happy stamping. Bye-bye now.